Welcome to part 2 of our Line City series. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, we recommend pausing this video and watching that one first. It's linked in the top right corner. If you've watched our previous video, you'd know that construction for the line is well underway. Although the construction site is well guarded by the Saudi Arabian government, we've managed to learn via drone footage from Solar Earth that there has been massive work done to the area. That much we know, but what exactly will the line look like when all that work is complete? You're going to want to keep watching because the answer is shocking. The basic information around the line is the fact that it's a city that sprawls over 105 miles, contained within a pair of glass walls. The team behind the line have come out to say that the finished product will be able to house over 9 million citizens. And each one of those citizens will be able to walk to the necessary facilities they need in just 5 minutes or less. Let's say you need to be able to go from one end of the line to the other. Well, fortunately, NEOM has said that they'll build an underground transit system, which will allow citizens to travel across the entirety of the line in just under 20 minutes. The reason for this is that NEOM, the team behind the line, wants to create an innovative way for humans to exist together within an urban atmosphere, without having to deal with things like heavy traffic, noise pollution, and the lack of nature. They want to put humans first, especially their health and well-being. Because of this, the line will have no roads, no cars, and as a result, be 100% free of any and all carbon emissions. This is crucial, especially if you're somebody who's passionate about reducing their carbon footprint on the environment. The line also uses 100% renewable energy due to NEOM's dedication to bettering the environment and the world around us. The line will also have a constant climate all year round. The team behind this described it as ideal. So if you're not a fan of freezing temperatures or sweltering hot days, then the line will be the next place that you call home. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like on the video. As we mentioned previously, the health and well-being of its citizens is a major priority for the line. Because of this, one of the largest selling points of this utopian city is the easy access to preventative healthcare. The goal is to have those who reside there live as long as possible through the mix of top-quality healthcare services and the lack of harmful toxins in the air. Not only is the health of the residents a huge priority for NEOM and the team behind the line, so is their financial independence. Due to the line's zero-gravity infrastructure, there's massive amounts of space for businesses. In fact, NEOM estimates that by the year 2030, the line will have created over 380,000 jobs. They expect a booming economy within the line that will only be made better by the fact that there will be no things like car payments, insurance, parking fees, etc. for the residents to worry about. Because of this, according to NEOM, they'll have more time and resources for leisure due to their higher disposable income, which in turn will help boost the economy within this high-tech city. What do you think? Do you think a city without cars could really have this big of an impact on the local economy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. We can't wait to see what you all have to say. In the meantime, while you're doing that, be sure to keep watching because this next part is absolutely mind-blowing. One of the biggest complaints people had about the line was the dystopian feel it had. Many felt like the citizens would be trapped or discouraged from leaving the enclosed city. So, what is the truth? What does travel look like for citizens of the line? Well, due to the line's position in the northwest region of Saudi Arabia, citizens have access to over 40% of the world via air travel in just 6 hours or less. That's a short plane ride to places like England, Egypt, and even Italy. The line finds itself at the epicenter of culture, making it easy for those who live there to experience several parts of the globe with just a quick trip to the airport. What does day-to-day life inside the line look like? Well, because the project is still fairly new and not expected to be completed for almost another 7 years, not much is known to the public. But due to information from several sources, we've been able to piece together a decent idea of what one may be able to look forward to if they decide to make the line their new home. Because of the line's innovative vertical landscape, there's a lot of room for construction. The idea is that things like homes and businesses will be layered on top of each other, sort of like a skyscraper, but more compact and close together. So if you're a fan of having a large backyard and room to sprawl out, the line may not be for you. Some of the amenities rumored to be in the midst of construction as of right now are of course homes, large office spaces, public parks, complete with natural resources, and public schools that offer the citizens of the line a top-quality education. Because of this, citizens won't have to worry about long commutes or being late to work, as more than likely their place of employment won't be more than a 5-minute walk or a 20-minute train ride away. But are all happy with this idea? You may be shocked to learn that the line's ambitious design has garnered quite a few critics. This all sounds a little too good to be true, and some experts raise a concern that it is. As we touched on previously in our last video, several people spoke out against the concept of the line, especially the fact that construction would displace a community that is indigenous to that area of the country. But some are even more concerned about the actual living potential of the line and whether or not this project could actually live up to the goals NEOM has set for it. Adam Greenfield, an architect, has shared his thoughts on the project and why he feels that even if the construction is completed, a vertical city could be cause for catastrophe. One of Greenfield's largest concerns was the lack of individual space in the city. Like we said, the city is so compact that it can house over 9 million people with 2 glass walls. As you can imagine, that doesn't leave much wiggle room for those living there. Greenfield actually had this to say: "Worse, the city is a roiling pit of contention, crammed to its limits with fractious constituencies, all of whom somehow need to be accommodated simultaneously." He even goes as far to criticize NEOM as a whole, stating that anybody who takes their money to help bring these projects to life is complicit. He also raises a concern that the Saudi Arabian desert may not be the best place for such a large city due to its climate. The desert lays at about 20 degrees Celsius throughout the year. For those who don't know, that's 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty reasonable, right? Well, that is until it drastically spikes, like the desert is known to do. In this case, the desert becomes so unbearably hot that it's practically impossible to live there, thus making it the line nearly uninhabitable. But you may be wondering, what about all the high tech that's going into place to ensure that the line keeps a constant temperature all year round? Greenfield argues that if anything were to happen to these cooling devices, which Greenfield states are massively energy intensive, the lives of the line citizens would be put at risk. Just imagine, one fuse blows on these oversized air conditioners, and you may run the risk of fatally overheating. Although these do sound like just concerns, many, including Greenfield, feel as though their complaints will fall on deaf ears. That no matter how much protesting is done, NEOM and the Saudi Arabian government will continue to move on with the project, which could potentially cause a major economic spiral. Greenfield is quoted as saying this on the matter: "It is important for you to understand, as well, that whatever your intention, you will not be able to be the voice of reason in the studio or represent the unheard. Do not deceive yourself into thinking that any amount of painstakingly marshaled, coolly presented evidence can defer for so much as 1 hour the progress of a project the partners have decided is key to their practice's future." Do you think that Greenfield and other architects have a fair argument here? Is a line too ambitious? Or does NEOM know what they're doing? Sound off in the comment below with your thoughts. In the end, we don't know too much about the line, other than the fact that, if constructed correctly, it could change the architecture game for good. We'll be sure to keep our eyes open for any updates from NEOM on the project, and we recommend you do the same. Who knows, maybe in 20 years from now, vertical cities will become the norm. We guess we'll just have to wait and see.